And we are live again, maybe. Sick of the Pundits, episode 10, I believe. Maybe.
Is it 10? I think it's 10, yeah.
There we go, making dreams come true. You thought we were gonna hit 10, all those haters, including myself, but we live. Alex, how are we doing?
I'm all good. 10 episodes, you know. That is a big achievement, guys. I think we need to give ourselves a pat on the back for that.
Nah.
Nah? Only 10 episodes? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I think we've done more because we split some episodes that nobody watched, but it's fine. Louis, how are we doing?
There we go.
Guys, a big weekend of Premiership football, lots to talk about. Two main topics. Is the standard of defending at an all-time low in the Premiership? Secondly, obviously, we are massive Liverpool fans. A lot to speak about. VVD getting injured, the Merseyside Derby, Jordan Pickford, offsides, all sorts going on in that game. But first off, just to thank all the fans, all the viewers, all the subscribers. Do check out our content, Sick of the Pundits, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, anywhere else, especially here on YouTube. Please subscribe. Please check out our content. Leave us criticism and comments. We always enjoy the interaction with the fans. First topic though, Josh. We've seen some crazy scores already in the opening weeks, as discussed in our last episode. This weekend saw Chelsea 3, Southampton 3, Spurs, and a crazy game yesterday, Spurs 3, West Ham 3. But it sort of does beg the question, is the standard of defending in the Premiership at an all-time low? What's your opinion on that, Josh?
Maybe from the top teams, but Aston Villa pretty super defensively. Wolves have been pretty decent defensively as well. So maybe from the top teams, but I don't know, because I feel like we said this last season as well. The Premier League has defense gone down with Liverpool in the higher. Maybe it's just the start of the season. Maybe teams are still trying to figure it out. My dad always says you have to look at the table after 10 games, and I think that's probably what it is. I think we are at the start of the season. The players didn't really get a lot of a break. There wasn't a lot of pre-season. Here's me being incredibly reasonable, but I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. I think the players just need a little bit more time to adjust. Like I said, not having pre-season is going to affect a lot of things defensively. I think when you are an attacking team, that can click a lot quicker than I think defensively, because the defense is something you need to stay on the training ground a little bit more on and focus and practice and drill. Whereas if you got the offense, you've got it. So that's my thoughts. Alex, your thoughts?
I mean, other than Liverpool being a top team prior to this season, was anybody really good defensively anyway? Of the top teams, of the top six? Not really. So is it a surprise that a lot of goals are getting conceded? Not really. We all knew that Chelsea were going to be the way that they were. They were going to score a lot of goals and concede a lot of goals. And that's kind of how it's gone. Spurs are probably the biggest surprise for me over the weekend after going 3-up. Then conceding 3 in true Spurs fashion.
Yeah.
It was amazing to watch. It was amazing to watch.
It.
Yeah, they proper Spursed up. there's the picture of Gareth Bale coming on as a sub, 3-0 up, as if he's gonna do amazing things. To be fair, he had that one run and he hit it wide. But has it dropped? I don't think it's dropped. I think it's about the same, to be honest. VVD is going to be a big loss for Liverpool.
Really,
but yeah, we'll probably get to that later. Yeah.
Cool, Alex. Josh, I think we touched on it in our last episode as well, but is COVID and sort of the lack of atmosphere and the lack of fans in stadiums still having its part as well to play with potentially with the standard of defence dropping as well?
Definitely, man. I mean, the crowd is always the 12th man, and you can always say like "man on" and all that stuff. You know, well, probably you might be hearing it a little bit clearer now with the coaches. So maybe that's a good point. I'm literally battling myself in this, but I'm trying to help out these defenders, but because I used to be a defender myself before I got fat. So yeah, it's a damn shame some of the defending that I'm seeing. But then I think again, like let's put Liverpool in perspective. For example, I think Liverpool have played a high line, and we've seen that. And that's because their tactics have been, we've got VAR, and if it's offside, it's offside. And And as long as we hold our line right, we'll get it right. And I think some of the other teams possibly are doing that they rather let VAR decide than actually rather than defending deep and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's what it is. I mean, missing the crowd has probably affected some of the players, but what can you do here? It's just, I reckon, give some of these defenders some time, let them settle a little bit. But maybe that won't happen all season because we've got back-to-back games. We've got like 3 games almost a week for certain teams. So.
Yeah, I think on the topic of tactics, obviously, and strategy, Alex, a lot of teams, even towards the lower end of the table, are trying to play out from the back, which does lead to errors and mistakes. Is that potentially a factor as well in the goals being conceded?
I mean, yeah, naturally, with any sort of philosophy that you have, when it comes to it, there are going to be mistakes at the start, especially with playing out the back. You're playing in the final third, which is essentially the hardest part to play in, and then there are going to be a lot of mistakes, especially when the ability isn't as high as, let's say, the top teams. Where is Josh going? But when it comes to stuff like this, to be honest, with any level of football, when you have a process where it is new and you are playing out of the back, there's going to be loads and loads of mistakes. So it's normal, in my opinion. It's definitely normal.
I'll tell you what,
Fair enough.
Instead of the level of defence, I think the level of goalkeepers has shot right down. I think growing up, seeing a lot of good goalkeepers, like your Van der Sars of this world, even the Hee-Ha back in his day was solid, and now he's making a lot. I can name you 3 top goalkeepers in the Premier League right now. I'll give you Alisson. I'll give you Edison.
Yeah.
Other than that, who else? Who else is there? You're gonna give me Leno? Come on, Leno's not good. Leno's got
I wouldn't say Leno. Lloris, top keeper.
Lloris has got a mistake in him.
So does Alisson. He's a top keeper.
Nah, but I'm saying Lloris will have a mistake almost every 2 or 3 games, whereas Alisson doesn't. I've seen Lloris have absolute howlers. Like he'd pull off a wonder save and then a mistake.
Nah, man, you can't say that. Man's a World Cup winner.
So
starting for France, and you're telling me he's mistake prone. No.
So
he's had dips in form, I'd say. Alex.
Exactly.
Yeah, but not like every 2 or 3 games he makes a mistake. That's wild.
All right, we'll see, and we'll see. Let's count Tottenham's games, and we'll see how many mistakes he makes. He makes errors. Edison makes errors. I don't know, man.
Guys, the current top 4, Everton top. Aston Villa, 4 wins out of 4. Liverpool 3rd, and Leicester in 4th, who lost the other night to Aston Villa. Suspect, will we see a drop off in Everton and Villa's form, Josh?
Everton, I'm not too sure. Everton, I'm not too sure. No, I think Everton will be solid throughout the season. I really do. I think that, like I said, as long as, like I said in the last video, and I got cussed out by an Aston Villa fan, as long as Everton don't have any significant injuries, I think Everton will be decent. They've got.
What does decent mean? It's too big for me. What's decent?
I think they'll challenge for the top 4. I think they will challenge for the top 4.
Because
Ancelotti is an outstanding manager. You've given him enough time to figure things out. He's bought the players that he wants. This is an Ancelotti team now. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is in fantastic form. Don't know how long that's going to last. But yeah, I like the Everton team. Aston Villa, at the moment, they are playing some outstanding football. And if you look at Grealish and Ross Barkley pulling out his Everton form, they're an exciting. And McGinn, who was a big loss for them last season, they're an exciting team to look at. Their midfield's pretty good. But like I said, there's teams now that are going to be playing 3 games a week, 2 games a week, and they're going to struggle with that. And I think Aston Villa is one of them. So we're going to see it slow down eventually. But I'm pretty impressed by Aston Villa. I think they'll finish top half of the table for sure. Because I think Jack Grealish is that good. I really do. Tyrone Mings has found his feet. Their goalkeeper, Martinez, is it? What's his name?
Yeah,
Martinez.
Yeah,
fantastic goalkeeper. Could have
top 3.
Nah, I'm not saying top 3. I'm not saying, but he's in my fantasy team for a reason. Even though my fantasy team sucks, but ever since I put him back in, I've been getting a lot of clean sheets. So I think Aston Villa will finish top half of the table. And I think Everton will challenge top 4. But I reckon it will figure itself out. Look, Man City and Man United have not played all their games. They've got games behind. Arsenal have started solidly. It's Tottenham, we're going to talk about them later, but I still think Tottenham will be there and thereabouts because of their offense. Chelsea, I don't know about Chelsea. I've always had a question mark about Chelsea, but then I think Man City and Liverpool will be there and thereabouts as well. So, Alex, your thoughts?
On what?
Louis' question about the teams. Everton and Aston Villa, they're going to be there and thereabouts.
Sorry,
He's
he's
not
talking
listening.
about Chelsea. He's not talking
any
about
other thoughts
Chelsea
you have, Alex?
and Spurs and stuff. Do you know what it is? You know what I've noticed a lot though, actually. You know when players have a coach that really backs them, even when they may not be, let's say, the most gifted ability-wise, it really does show. Like, for example, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he's not the best striker, let's say, but you have a team and a coach who plays to his strengths, and fucking look at him. He looks like a world beater at the moment. He's up there with Kane, you know, with top England strikers right now. Kane and Danny Ings, he's up there.
Vardy,
you know, he is. But yeah, Vardy as well. How can I forget? And even Jack Grealish, you know, he's in a system that suits him. God knows why Gareth Southgate doesn't start him for England's fucking awful decision not to play him against. What was it? Is it Denmark?
Yeah. England
he didn't start him, isn't it? Oh my gosh, that's probably one of the worst England teams. We were saying it as well.
God damn it, I hate England
We
right now.
have seen. I know we're going off on a tangent here, but Jesus, how bad at home to Denmark?
So boring.
At home to Denmark, you don't start Grealish and you start. Who did they start? He started Rice and
Mason players.
and Mason Mount and Phillips. Like, come on.
I didn't even mind Phillips too much, but oh my god.
Neither did I. But it had to be Phillips or Rice.
Yeah.
With Grealish.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have started both with 3 centre backs. Oh man.
Oh Jesus.
How's Pickford still starting for England?
Oh
my
god.
Guys, I think we've gone off on a bit of a tangent there. Gone off on a bit of a tangent. Let's bring it back.
Sorry, Louis.
To Liverpool FC. Obviously, Merseyside Derby on the weekend. Everton 2, Liverpool 2.
Liverpool 3.
Victory. I was going to say victory snatched. VAR having their say, as they have done at various times last season and this. Is the season in disarray? Virgil van Dijk is out for the season. Alisson is out till October. We've got Adrian in goal. Looks like Thiago Alcantara possibly not as injured as we thought. Josh, are you worried about Liverpool and their season?
You know what? I'll be honest with you guys. As you guys all know in the WhatsApp, I was melted so hard. I was like so upset. But then my rational brain kicked in. Like I want to say my rational brain kicked in today. And it was just like, you know what, Joshua? Think about it though. We just discussed in our last discussion how bad defensively all the top teams are. So if that's the case, I would still take Matip and Gomez before a lot of the defenders in the other teams, and I'm not being funny. I can't even. Maybe Man City with Diaz and Laporte.
Yeah.
But other than that, Harry Maguire with the fridge on his back. No, thank you. So I put that in perspective, and then you have to remember how we played against Everton. Remember, this Everton team I think this Everton team is one of the best Everton teams I've ever seen in my life. And you look at their midfield, and I think their midfield is one of the best midfields in the Premier League, and we made them look so amateurish. Like the way Henderson, I think that was one of Henderson's best games I've ever seen Henderson play, and that's why he deserved that goal, because he was phenomenal.
I agree.
And then Fabinho was still doing what he was doing. So I think the reliance of our defence is gonna. I think when Alisson comes back, which I'm hearing either this week or the end of or next week, he'll be back.
Yeah, before the end of the month.
If Alisson comes back, Thiago's not hurt, and we roll out with that midfield most of the games, I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be fine. As much as I love Van Dijk, I think if I had to choose between losing Van Dijk for a season and losing Alisson for a season, I know I'm just going to be thrown back at Alex, but I'm choosing losing Van Dijk, and I'm not just being in the moment with this one. Adrian is so bad. Adrian cost us games. I don't think Gomez and Matip will cost us games the way Adrian has. So as soon as Alisson comes back, I think we'll be fine.
Alex, if you're Jurgen Klopp, are you looking to spend in the January transfer window to replace Virgil Van Dijk, or are you considering dropping Fabinho into centre back as Liverpool do look okay, I guess, for numbers in midfield?
I think you have to spend just logically because you've got you're now first choice centre backs can't start 10 league games in a row.
True.
Like that's just proven over the last 2-3 seasons that they can't play that many games. They're not reliable. If you're looking at it from an ability standpoint, 100% you'd go with Gomez and Matip. There's no issue with them being centre back pairings, but just from a reliability standpoint, they're not going to be fit. I mean, Matip walked into the Liverpool hospital today because he's got some sort of discomfort. So you we kind of need. How many centre backs have you got? Matip,
Gomez, Billy the Kid,
and
Billy the Kid is
he's like 17 though, isn't he?
Yeah, 17-year-old, and then we've got that young boy who looks like a small Virgil Van Dijk, a young Ray Williams, I think his name is. Reece Williams.
Yeah, Williams.
Yeah, but they're all young though, isn't it? Like
of course.
They can't
come in.
Can't Premier League games.
And
you can't have to if he's going to be out to the end. If he's going to be out to the end of the season,
which is more than likely,
you have to sign someone.
100%. What I would add on to what Alex was saying is you look at the younglings, they're not ready to play football, and also I think Liverpool need to not dick around with this because I even thought coming into this season that we were light at centre back anyway. And Joe Gomez is still very, very young in terms of centre-back terms. Like a centre-back, how old is Joe Gomez? Like 23, 24, 20?
Something like that.
Yeah, 23. Yeah.
So he's super young and people forget that. So he's going to have dipping form, which he's having right now. So it's one of those ones where you definitely have to get another centre-back. And I don't want us to mess around with any sort of pricing or whatever. If Upamecano, whatever his name is, I probably pronounced that wrong. But the French geezer from RB Leipzig, if he does have a buyout clause, you just hit it straight away. Don't dick around, just hit it straight away. I know we're in financial whatever it is right now, but the loss of Van Dijk is a lot. So you gotta do what you gotta do. And I think if we dick around and because worst case scenario, we finish outside the top four. Absolute worst case scenario. We should have got another centre back anyway, regardless. And that geezer for me is one of the best young centre backs out there. So, and also, who knows how Van Dijk's going to come back from this injury? This is a serious injury. ACL is very serious injury. So, like, we don't know how Virgil's going to come back to that. I'd rather Virgil even if Virgil misses the start of next season, honestly, I'd rather him get back fully fit rather than us risking him, rushing him back, and then he collapses again. Like, let's just do it properly. Get Upamecano in, play the buyout clause, just get it done. But let's see what Liverpool do in it.
Yep, fair enough, Josh. Fair enough. Obviously, on the subject of Van Dijk, Alex, Jordan Pickford is not going to get any punishment for his horrific tackle on Van Dijk, judged to be offside. Bit ridiculous, but. Any views on that? Do the laws need changing? Do the rules need changing?
Nah. No, I don't think he should get retrospective action because then you open up a can of worms into everything now. Who should be looked into is the officials because they dropped the ball. Maybe not the official on the day, the official in the VAR room. How incompetent do you have to be to not see that is a horrific challenge? Everyone saw it was. You ask 100 people, is that a good challenge? 99 of them say it's terrible and it's a red card. The one person that would say it's not was the one guy that we needed not to do that. The one sitting in the VAR room. Fucking awful refereeing, awful. But you can't give a retrospective action on Jordan Pickford. It's one of those things. You do it in football. You go in for a challenge. I don't think he intended to do that. He's a bad player. He's clumsy. He's done it before, and I think he done it to Dele Alli like in 2018. I saw, or something. Yeah, something like that. So he's got previous. He'll probably do it again because he's shit. But can't you can't you can't
Don't
punish
mince
him
your
on that
words.
after the fact, because then you open up a can of worms. So. He's awful. He's so bad, man, and he walks around as if he's so good. That's what bugs me. Fuck Jordan Pickford, man. But he's alright.
Josh,
He's a lad.
obviously VAR in the spotlight again. Mane judged to have been offside. What was your view on that one?
That's the most ridiculous decision I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it's one of those ones where, do you know what? If the decision's so close, referee, just go and have a look at it. That should be the advice. It should just be, do you know what it is? Because I watch so much other sports, so much other sports, where NBA, they have something very similar to this. NBA is played at a far quicker pace than football. So when people are like, it's going to be a lot slower. No. You go and look at it. Rugby, you go and look at it. Cricket, you go and look at it. I don't understand, well, maybe not cricket, but I don't watch cricket anymore. I don't understand how these guys don't just go and look at it. Go and look at it.
Yeah.
And if it's...
Why are they against it? I don't get it. Why are they against looking at it?
I don't know.
Is it some like referee union in the Prem where, I don't want to go against him, so I better make sure that
Worst thing is,
I don't ask him to look at it.
It's not even going against him. If you're saying go and look at it, that's not going against him. It's just your call. You're the referee. You were chosen to be the referee for a particular reason, because you're the best referee in the country. Mr. Whatever his name is, Matt Oliver. I don't even know what his name is. You're the best referee in the country. Mike Oliver, close. You're the best referee in the country.
Mike Oliver.
Go and have a look at it, Mickey. Go and have a look at it, because
it's not his call to make. It's the VAR.
But that's what I'm saying. VAR guy, you'd be like, look, bruh, I don't know, bruv. It's man close in it. Go and have a look at it. That's what I would be like, because I don't even want all that pressure.
You know what I mean? If I was the VAR guy,
you're the VAR guy.
I told the referee to look at everything. Why am I in charge? I'm not responsible for nothing, man. No.
Now my man's gonna get bare death threats.
Just go look.
Everything.
Yeah, which isn't cool. That's not cool, and we don't condone that stuff. Yeah, but man,
no, them decisions
go
there.
And have a look at it.
Mate.
Just go and have a look at it. Like, I'm not one to moan about refereeing decisions either. Like most of the time, because most of the time it's just like, but those two decisions, they
outrageous.
Man.
Outrageous.
It is like I look at the Mane photo, and I still can't see how they've given offside.
The lines don't make sense, do they?
It doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense. Yeah.
Rob Jordan Henderson's best moment in the Liverpool shirt, I'd say.
Exactly.
His best moment. Come on, he's lifted the Prem.
No. Hold on. I never said. Hold on.
He's on the Champions League final, and he's lifted the Prem. But hey, a last-minute goal in a fucking derby.
I never said
it's his best moment.
I never said Liverpool's best moment. I said Jordan Henderson as a player. His best moment as a single player is definitely him scoring. Jordan Henderson only was chipped in with that many goals. That goal was sick.
Bro, you don't think his best moment is lifting the Prem for Liverpool? You think an Everton winner is?
As a player, Alex.
As a player, Alex. He's not.
Playing the match? As in playing during
the game as a player. Yeah.
I give you that.
Yeah, prick.
Alex, any final closing words on the weekend?
Yeah, how good is Thiago Alcantara?
It's different.
That guy is so good. I've been waxing lyrical about this guy before he even played for Liverpool. He's so saucy. Man's got all the tricks, all the flicks. He doesn't even do it. That's what makes it so good. He doesn't even need to do it most of the time. Just does the cheeky disguise. That pass to Mane, the disguise on that. Boy, I was sent to the shops on that one. I didn't know where to look. Jesus. And then he chopped it back in. Oh, God, that guy's too good, man. He's going to be so good. Touching on that as well. That is one of the reasons why VVD's loss may not be as big, which is what kind of Josh said a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Because we have the added person in the midfield who can now control the game that little bit more. And defensively, Thiago's great. Like, he intercepts a lot, he tackles a lot, and he passes forward a lot. So you'd think a lot of the defensive pressure would be alleviated with him there, as long as he's playing. He is quite a reliable player as well. He doesn't miss many games. So VVD out for the season is big, but I'm still confident in winning the league. It just won't be as easy. I don't think we'll reach 90 points like last season. Maybe like 86 or whatever. High 80s, I'd say, for us. But that will still be enough to win the Prem, I think.
Yeah, fully agree. I think the addition of Thiago sees us like retain more possession. We'll definitely, obviously our midfield's renowned for its energy and breaking up play, but with Thiago, we keep possession a lot more. We keep the ball. Josh, any final thoughts before we wrap this one up?
Yeah, just to add another thing to what Alex was saying, I think with Matip coming back in as well, Matip brings the ball out quite a bit if he's fit, but he brings the ball out quite a bit as well. So it's a good thing to have him. Like I said, I don't think it's not going to be as big of a loss as long as Gomez and Matip stay fit until January, because I think Liverpool just pull your finger out, get something done, get a top defender in as well. Don't get someone that's going to be a stopgap, because like I said, let VV deal. Sounds like a good game show. Let him get fully fit. VV deals. Let him get fully fit. Let him take his time. And the only way you do that is if you get a top centre back, a young one, and that's what Upamecano is. I feel like I'm getting better at pronouncing his name, even though I'm terribly.
Is he left-footed? I've never watched him play.
but I do know that.
Why do you want us to sign him so much then? Is he actually that good? I've heard good things, but I've never actually watched him play.
Do you know what?
So I can't say.
French football right now, in terms of everyone that's coming through in France right now, they're all sick. They're all ballers. Like they're just all good. So I want a French baller in my team. If it's not Mbappe, Upamecano. Let's get it done. But no, any final thoughts? Champions League's back, so that should be interesting. I think the Ajax versus Liverpool game is going to be very entertaining for the neutral. PSG, Man United, I think PSG is going to absolutely... Actually, do you know what? Maybe Manchester United shocked the world. I think Manchester United are one of those teams that play... Yeah, I think Manchester United get themselves up for the big games, as long as it's not Tottenham. So we'll see. We'll see Champions League back. That's good. Good to see that.
We could do a Champions League roundup on the next ep. Yeah. Hopefully, maybe.
Brilliant. Okay, guys, thanks for that. That was the views from the armchair experts. Hopefully, it's not all too doom and gloom, and we've given a few positives in terms of Liverpool's season. Don't forget to leave any comments. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and a subscribe down there somewhere. Till the next episode. Thanks, guys.
God bless. Don't worry about Van Dijk. He'll be fine. And you rival fans, this is lasting too long. I'm probably going to cut this out. But you guys absolutely suck. Anderson Silva, you suck.
Cut.
Yeah. No,
Cut.
Yeah.